Hello, how's everybody
Hey.
today? We are what?
Nothing.
What?
That add 10 pounds to me just like that.
Well, I'm fat.
Hello, how's everybody
Hey.
today?
We are in the frozen north of
It's
Wisconsin.
not frozen.
It feels freezing out there. When we left Tennessee, it was 80 degrees. When we got here, it was like 40. And the wind was blowing, it was cold. And
He ain't been outside since we got here.
I've been outside. I was outside last night with the dogs. Thank you very much.
I think that was me.
No, I was outside. You gave me my toboggan over there, my beanie, and I
That's
went
true.
outside. And
That's true.
yes, that is true. And it's cold here. It's not supposed to be cold here. Although
It's supposed to be 25 tonight.
they did get snow last week.
Yeah.
But we don't want any snow.
Low 70s and rain and overcast, says Beach Bum.
Yeah, that's great. We did check in, and Michael Vaughn is still missing. We remind everybody that we are looking for Michael Monkey Vaughn, Joseph Vaughn, 5 years old, be about 6 years old now. Blonde and blue.
And he is abducted.
He is abducted, been abducted, possible suspect vehicle. They know who owns the vehicle, I understand, but they cannot prove anything right now. So at least they have that. They have not found, as far as we know, Olivia Fowler. She is still missing now. Um, no new words on her. I did want to comment on the Barry Morphew case. We discussed that last time we were one of our, I think it was last time about Barry, and I said I hope they did drop the charges before they lose it. And they did. They dropped the charges, but the judge said without prejudice, meaning they can refile. And this came from a lawyer they interviewed. This article, it said that in other words, the authorities say they just being uh, say they were just being thorough and erring on the side of fairness. They want to find a corpse before they bring someone to trial for murder. And I hope that they do not wait that out, because they may never find her, unfortunately. And, a lawyer said it's extremely rare to just flat out dismiss a murder charge. This is David Lane, a Denver defense attorney, said. He was unconnected with the case, but he said this entire case is very unusual. The level of prosecutorial misconduct was so egregious. And basically, what he's talking about is a reckless disregard for going by the discovery, and that's what we talked about. I talked about it, saying that if it would have been me up there, we'd drop the charges and refile when you can have all your witnesses. When the judge denies you 90% of your witnesses, it would have been very, very bad if they'd have went to trial and they'd found him not guilty. It'd been very bad.
Beach Bum says that he has a hearing the 26th of May at 8 a.m. for voter fraud.
Yeah, that I read about that. Apparently, what he did was he sent a a what is it, the ballot absentee ballot in for his wife, and he voted for Trump. And I'm sure he was just doing that um to is that the
Yeah.
just doing that to make like she was still living at that time. So that was stupid on his part, but nobody's going to believe that. And maybe we'll find out on the other charges too. And I think he had one for attempting to something a public official. I don't know exactly what that was. I would love to know what that was, but influence a public official. But I don't know if they dropped that or not. A lot of times you don't want to muddy the water with a bunch of misdemeanor charges. You want to just go for the big one. I think I told you about this. We had a case. It was actually a call that I had. I got assigned to a call, me and another officer, on a domestic violence call. And on the way there, they pulled us off to go assist an officer that was fighting a guy and having problems. So as we went over here to assist this officer, a couple of other guys went over there and handled a domestic, and they both of those officers ended up getting shot. They both lived, but one of the pellets went out and hit a guy, a girl or a man on the street in the foot. So they went and pled guilty to assault on that. And because it was a part of the original crime, they could not charge this guy for shooting the officers. It would have been under double jeopardy. So, I don't think they should muddy the waters with a bunch of other little stuff. Just go after the big stuff,
So wait,
But-
he got jail time for shooting a guy in the foot with a little pellet, but
Right.
the two police officers he tried to kill, he didn't get anything for it?
Nope. Could be double
Oh
jeopardy
my gosh.
because they pled guilty to the first charge of the guy being shot in the foot. And because that was a
stupid
part,
on somebody's
that
part.
was a part of the original action, he could not be tried for double jeopardy. It was a weird case. I still remember that to this day.
Well, to me, that was stupidity on
Yep.
somebody's part.
I agree.
We agreed.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, sometimes.
We do want to cover a couple of things today. One was this little girl turned up missing up here in Wisconsin, where we're at.
Absolutely beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful young girl, and she was found murdered in a wooded area. I've got a video to show you. The main reason we're showing this is the fact is they need some help finding out who did this. Somebody knows something up here.
Start with the
Listen to this
disturbing
and see if
news
this
we've
is
been
the
following
one.
all
I've
day
got
in Chippewa Falls,
2 or 3.
Wisconsin, where police now say a missing person case involving a 10-year-old girl is now a murder investigation. Sharon is in Chippewa Falls, where police just updated the public on the case a short time ago. Hi, Sharon. How are you?
Hey, Kent. So the biggest takeaway from that press conference was that right now nobody is in custody. Here's a little bit of a timeline, what we know so far. Police say 10-year-old Ileana Peters was reported missing yesterday evening at around 9 o'clock when she did not return home from her aunt's house. There were earlier reports this morning that her bike was found on the trail that is near her aunt's house. It's the street that turns into a trail right there on the street where her aunt's house is located. And this is the trail that leads toward the Leinenkugel Brewery. Police said they also found her body a short time later in that wooded area. Police also said they could not share a cause of death, but it became pretty clear to them that this was going to be a homicide investigation as soon as they found her body. Right now, a tip line has been established, and the police chief asked anyone who has seen anything or does end up seeing anything, quote, suspicious, to call that line. That number we've repeated multiple times today. It is 1-800-263-5906, and it is monitored actively, and multiple agencies are assisting the Chippewa Falls Police Department in this investigation. The community is obviously shaken up by this incident. Some of the neighbors around the scene where her body was found said off camera that they were extremely concerned. The school district also sent out a press release earlier to the concerned parents of this community, telling them that they will do their best to protect the students in their custody, and also that if the older students had any information or if they have heard about this, that they are begging them to please be sensitive to the younger students who are attending that school. And we're also told tonight there is a candlelight vigil happening. Kent?
All right. Thanks a lot, Sharon. About 15,000 people call Chippewa Falls home. And as you can imagine, the shock over what happened to 10-year-old Lily Peters, combined with the lack of an arrest and very few answers about the investigation, is more than just a little unsettling, especially for parents like Jennifer Sheridan.
hear that?
Oh my gosh, it just sends like a chill through you. I know personally, I leave my keys in my car. I don't always lock my doors. I feel safe here. So then when you hear about one of our children, you know, you're finding a body, it shakes an entire community. So you have no choice but to keep them next to you. You know, I would certainly keep my kids at home. I'm not going to let them go out and run off by themselves. You can't.
Now, we understand the most important thing we can do right now is bring you information and updates on this investigation as soon as we get it. That's why we have Sharon there and our entire team. We're committed to doing that whenever and wherever we can. Now, we'll have live updates throughout the evening here on KARE 11 and on our website and the KARE 11 app. Start with the
And that is just super bad. And, you know, obviously, she probably ran up. It was probably spur of the moment type thing. A homeless guy or somebody in the woods been stalking kids, and she just happened to hit the wrong place, the wrong time. It's awful. It's very, very awful, and it's a real small community, so that you can imagine the heartbreak that these are going through. Is just amazing, and we hope that they find this animal and justice will be served. We want to discuss also. There is a girl missing out of Wisconsin, since it's up here in this area. She's 21 years old. She apparently, it's just she was seen on video in Virginia, and her credit card was charged for a bus ticket to New York. So obviously somebody either met online, coached her. The parents, they're heartbroken. But I'm gonna go and play this video.
In the search for a Milwaukee student who went missing last week from her college campus in Mississippi. Investigators say Camila Phipps was spotted in surveillance video in Richmond, Virginia. That 21-year-old is a student at Jackson State University. She was seen last week Tuesday leaving her residence hall. Police say there was a purchase on her credit card for a bus ticket to New York.
As of Friday the 22nd, her phone pinged several times in Richmond, Virginia. So prior to that, under the assumption that she was going home, we also reached out to Milwaukee Police Department just in case she was going home.
Phipps' family says she's studying biology. Her mom says after graduation she plans to come back to Milwaukee to be a veterinarian.
You know, I didn't catch that the first time I heard about it, but she was in college at Mississippi State or Mississippi, and from Wisconsin. But it sounds like to me she'd been online talking to somebody or got coached into meeting somebody in New York. And unfortunately, you never know what with the computers the way it is. You know, anything could happen.
Laura Ann said a search warrant was executed at an aunt's house. A juvenile male was arrested. There's possibly been an arrest made for Lily. Neighbors say Lily was playing with male cousin.
Lily, the
little girl you showed the pictures of from Wisconsin, from Chippewa.
Of Chippewa Falls.
Yeah.
Well, I hope they do. Really hope they do. I want to touch on a couple of others here. Two others, but I want to. I have a couple more here that I saw. What?
Yeah, there's been an arrest for her.
Her? Does it say who?
Hold on a minute. The suspect was not a stranger to Peters and was known to her. Suspect is in custody. The public is no longer in danger.
Wow. So it may be a juvenile or
from what the neighbors are saying, it was a juvenile cousin.
That's awful.
Male cousin.
That's awful. You never know what's going on, but I hope we just hope and pray for the family. If it's a male cousin, you can imagine that could be the brother or sister to her father.
Yep.
Could be. Also, want to bring your
Or the mother.
attention, yeah, or mother, to I think it's Kara Penn. She
Kiara.
Tiara, huh?
Kiara.
Penn, missing since January the 24th this year. She is missing from Henderson, Nevada. Very, very little information. Oh, excuse me. Very, very little information that I could find on it other than the city. And this came out of the Polycloth Foundation website. This is the latest missing that they featured. She went missing on January the 24th and has not been seen or heard from since. A lot of the cases that they feature on there also are kids that are in the system, like this girl here. This is Serenity Dennard. Is it Dennard or Dennard?
Yeah.
Rapid City, South Dakota. February the 3rd of 2019, and she has not been seen. This is another picture of her. If I can get it to come up there. She ran away from a children's home. Caretakers put her under arm's length only monitoring, but monitoring ended right before February 3rd. At that time, she disappeared. 2 people watching over her. The children's home also waited 80 minutes before they called 911. That kind of stuff, man. You just want to search out why they did that. But she has not been seen since. So she either is living probably homeless or unfortunately got caught up in something illegal.
If she's even alive.
Even if she's even alive, right. This one is one that Medina brought to my attention. This is Where is Felicia? If you want to read that.
Felicia is from Houston, Texas. Well, she's from California, but she had come to Houston, Texas for her birthday. And her bloody phone was found near Bear Creek. She's not been located yet. Her dad is trying to do everything he can to get the word out about her. She
video.
Okay.
And I'm gonna just play a video on this first, and you can get an idea.
California man says
sound
he
like
will
she
stay
got
in Houston
caught up
as long
in
as
something.
it takes to find his missing daughter. 24-year-old Felicia Johnson disappeared 10 days ago, and her father says a reward may be increased in order to bring in more tips. Jason Miles is live from Bear Creek Park, where Johnson's family says her phone was found. Jason?
That's right, Lynn. A PI hired by the family claims he found Johnson's phone covered in blood here at Bear Creek Park. Further reason the family believes foul play is involved. Flyers like this are posted at Bear Creek Park, where 24-year-old Felicia Johnson's family says her bloody phone was found, while her father, Kevin, continues to keep her name in the news.
I'm her father, I'm the face of her, and I'm her representative in her fight to come home.
He came to Houston from his home in San Diego after getting word of Felicia's disappearance.
And nobody's gonna fight this fight more than me, harder than me, and longer than me.
He says his oldest of 3 children was last seen April 15th at Cover Girls Gentlemen's Club on West Little York, where she applied for a job days after coming to town from California to celebrate a birthday and earn some extra cash.
She fell into something that she couldn't get out of.
Community activist Quanell X, who helped organize a vigil last night, said Johnson got into an unknown man's car when an Uber ran late, and that the club has not provided surveillance video or any other information. Meanwhile, Texas EquiSearch spent hours in the area where Johnson's phone was found and tells me it will continue to follow law enforcement's lead on when and where to search. At this point, HPD considers it a missing persons investigation.
I feel like they are doing their job.
Johnson believes a Crime Stoppers reward on top of other money being raised may prompt a member of the public to do the right thing as well.
Reach out, go in your heart. Just if you know something, even if you want the $5,000, just say something, call in with something, give us something.
And we went by the Cover Girls Club today, talked to a manager who referred me to an attorney. That attorney returning my phone call just within the last hour or so. He says Cover Girls is completely cooperating with HPD and even providing pertinent video surveillance it may not provide to QuanLX or the media for that matter. Meantime, the club hopes Johnson turns up safe and sound. Reporting live tonight, Jason Miles, KHOU 11 News.
We all certainly hope so, Jason. Thank you.
You know, and I know a lot of times that the people won't take it seriously because she did apply for this gentleman's club, you know, this, and for all pedal, I mean, that is strip club. But, you know, a lot of people say, well, you know, she's running around with the wrong crowd. Well, it's very, very possibility
She is
that
still
she
somebody's daughter.
she got picked up by a customer leaving the place, someone that meant to do her harm, and unfortunately she could be held captive now for all we know, but they're really hoping that they can get some information on her. You look at the pictures, that's a tattoo she has, and I'm not really 100% sure where that tattoo is.
Looks like it's on her shoulder.
Let's see.
Yeah, right shoulder.
Okay, right shoulder. And roses and a butterfly.
I agree, Beach Bum. No one deserves it. Doesn't matter who they are or what they do.
It does not. We want to touch on, I'm buzzing along here, 22 minutes, and I covered all this kind of stuff. But somebody knows, and what they need to do is put that reward out. Somebody will talk.
Yeah, I reached out to her aunt to ask her if there was any updates. I've not heard back from her yet. So I was hoping to hear back from her before we went on.
But nothing so far. It's going to take somebody talking. Somebody knows something. This is one that, Dina, you want to tell about that? Because I know nothing about that.
Hold on. This is a suitcase that was found in the woods in Washington County, Indiana. This suitcase contained the remains of a little African-American boy, 5 to 8 years old, 4 foot tall, slim build, on 4/16/22. That he was found in a heavily wooded area inside the suitcase, not far from a roadway. He had died in the last week. A person hunting for mushrooms in the woods found his body. Or found the suitcase. I don't know. They must have opened it. But anyway, this suitcase is not something everybody has. So y'all snapshot this, put it on your Facebook page. You know, we can get, everybody is within 7 people of knowing everybody in the world. There's more than 7 of us. Let's just multiply this and find out who this little boy's not even been reported missing as far as they know. And you know, it could be that the parents, you know, he did something and they punished him too much and he died. I don't know, but that's
just
strange
because
to
somebody
put him in a suitcase like this.
Yeah, I mean, just because somebody has a suitcase doesn't mean they're a killer.
No.
But if you see somebody, if you remember seeing this suitcase being pulled by somebody in even in that state, I would report it to law enforcement and let them come out and check him out. There was an article on TV the other night where a girl was murdered. I know y'all have heard about it, where Yeah, they found her dog wandering around the high rise. She disappeared. I think we covered it. It's been a month or two ago, where she's blonde headed, real pretty girl, and they couldn't find her anywhere, but they did find her dog. Well, they ended up finding her inside a suitcase like that, and then they found video where this guy, apparently she had a relationship with him. He's Hispanic guy. They have the guy in custody now. Her husband was out of town, and they got into it about something, and he killed her, put her in the suitcase, and then walked her right off. And they have it on video. So, uh, you know, if you see a guy walking in an area with a suitcase that doesn't belong in that area, that might be a clue that something's up. He may need to be checked out.
Oh,
So,
that's strange.
yeah.
Beach Bum says, Thomas, do you think Barry is being watched?
It wouldn't surprise me if they did put some type of loose surveillance on him. I would, I don't think. I think he's pretty arrogant, but I don't think he's going to go back to where she's buried or hidden, because he's have a fear that he is being watched. That he maybe they put something on his car, a tracker on his car, or But I would think they had some type of the FBI had some type of loose surveillance on him. I would hope so, or at least they claim that there's an area that they're focusing on where they have a strong information, belief, or whatever, where this is what I gathered. I don't have any evidence of this, but I just gathered that from the way they were talking, that they maybe have an area that she may be in, but the snow is too deep for them to go out there and check it. Is that if any of y'all heard that? I heard that somewhere, and maybe they're going to, go after the snowfalls and try to recover her remains. But, I don't know where they got that information. They could have had somebody that was close to buried that knew about it, that maybe they had something on. The way you get information from the criminal element is they get caught doing something really bad, and they may have extensive stay in prison as a possibility. So they offer them lesser the charge or whatever if they would give information that you want. And I can tell you this: if you have somebody under arrest for something that's and a victim has to be a victimless crime. In other words, it can't be rape or another murder or it could maybe be a bank robbery or a theft of a large amount of money, or get caught with drugs, a lot where you'd be doing 30, 40 years in prison. Then you might say, if he comes up and says, well, I can tell you where Suzanne Morphew's buried. And that if they say, well, if your information is true, then we will give you X amount of time off or guarantee you certain prison that you go to. Or, a lot of people want to be put in federal prison because state prison is so horrible in most states. And federal prisons, even though it's not great to be locked up in prison, it is considerably nicer than the state prison. And it's controlled a lot better. So, or if a guy gets caught with a murder charge, instead of getting a death penalty, they may say, look, we'll guarantee you won't get the death penalty and you won't go to Supermax, or we'll send you to closer to actually a prison closer to your home where your family can come visit you, if you tell us where this is. They're not going to let him out of jail. But, I'm just saying that possibly could have happened. Yeah. One other one that I do want to cover here tonight, and this is just breaking off the wire tonight off CBS News. I copied and then I went to it. Very, very strange case. Is here a 3-month-old kidnapped his grandmother, unloaded groceries in California. Says it says it's found alive. The baby's found alive. They have not found the guy. But this just goes to show you what happened. They believe that what happened was the grandmother went, put the baby upstairs, went down to unload groceries in the car, and this guy, Hispanic, dark-skinned Hispanic, went up there and took the child with his he brought a baby basket in with him, and put a car seat and put the child in there, and
it was planned.
And do it. Yes, it was planned.
It was an opportunity.
Police just reopened this block of Elm Street in the last hour, but as you can see, there are still several police vehicles here on the scene. It has been more than 10 hours since a stranger took the 3-month-old infant from his home. The kidnapping was first reported by the baby's grandmother, who was caring for him while his mother was at work.
She took the baby in the apartment, went downstairs to unload some groceries. In that short amount of time, someone entered the apartment and left with the baby.
The baby's grandmother never saw the kidnapper, but a neighbor's camera captured the male suspect, described as Hispanic with a dark complexion, walking away with the baby. Neighbors spent the day trying to make sense of the crime.
I have 2 kids, and I feel bad about the mother. I need to pay attention more on my kids, because they like to play outside and run outside.
As a mother, I can say like, wow, I don't know how they feel, how the family feel. Yeah, I can imagine.
San Jose police say there is a cash reward for information leading to the arrest of the suspect. Tonight, parents in the neighborhood are holding their children a bit tighter.
My big daughter every day play over there, so now my big daughter very scared, so she stay in the home.
What's your sense of what the neighborhood's like here?
Yeah, I've seen twice like police coming over, but yeah, I don't know what was the issues. Like I said, I've just been here like for a month.
San Jose police say an Amber Alert has not been issued at this time because they don't have any suspect vehicle information. The FBI is assisting in this case. In San Jose, Betty Yu, KPIX 5.
Well, obviously from that thing I posted at first, they found the baby, but I watched a prolonged press conference on this, and apparently there was information. They did find a truck at the scene. They had some information. A lot of times what that happens is, this was well thought out. This was for him to bring a
car seat
with him. But a lot of times when the police fled the area, once he saw himself on the news walking across there with the baby's car seat, he says to himself, well, it's only a matter of time till I get caught, and I'm gonna release this child. He might have dropped it at a hospital. He might have walked into a convenience store and laid it on the counter and said, you need to call the police. They're looking for this baby, and take off. Who knows? I don't know how yet. We haven't heard exactly how the baby was found, but I don't think they have him in custody. They may by now, but that is the one problem with these COVID masks. they block all really. I mean, this you've seen the bandits in the cowboy pictures where they're wearing the mask over. That's about how they do now. I mean, you go in a bank with a mask on now, and they won't
And
even
gloves.
look at you. Yeah, and gloves, and they won't hardly look at you. So you could, I mean, people can rob stuff. I've actually watched videos of armed robberies wearing COVID masks. So it's hard to say. I mean, I have been in the last week or two forced to wear a mask anytime I go outside, and people look at me like I'm crazy. But it's because
That's because they know you are.
well, I've got this still battling with this congestion issue. And anytime I get out in the cold or around a bunch of pollen, it just stops me up again. So I can't help it. I went out with our daughter last night. They took us out to eat at Vietnamese place. And I wore my mask and of course wore it when I went outside. And I know that people look at me like, why are you wearing it outside? But it's because of that. And I'm going to a baseball game in Friday, and hopefully they'll have the dome closed so to be a little bit warmer. But I'll have my mask on probably all the way except for maybe inside if it's warm enough. But
Beach Bum said Barry is in Indiana, and his next hearing is WebEx. He likes to buy and sell vehicles in Indiana. Time for a trade in.
yeah, and
That's say. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Beach Bum said they found the boy. I think there's 3 suspects.
well, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting in what they'll find on how they with the baby.
Beach Bum, she said it's just crazy. They'll just rip them out of your arms now. That almost happened to me holding
Yeah,
Dakota one
tell
time.
them about that.
I think I've told y'all I was standing in a Kroger and it was raining outside, and Tommy had dropped me and Dakota off.
I was in law enforcement in that town.
And Dakota was about 3 months old, and I was holding him, and this guy walked in and said that his baby had died 3 months ago, and could he hold my baby? And I said no, and he reached and started pulling Dakota out of my arms, and I screamed, "There comes my husband!" And so anyway, yeah,
He took off.
he took off running,
And
but I was petrified.
this was in Huntsville. Huntsville's. I was working in law enforcement in Huntsville for like 8 years, and up there, the city was probably around 250,000 then. So it was a pretty big town, and we were on the north end of town, which is not the best of the town, best side of town at that time. I don't even know now why we were up there, but
we lived in Tennessee.
yeah, well,
Yeah,
we lived in
Mary.
Tennessee.
Thank you. We will have fun visiting our daughter. We usually do.
Yeah, we're if we can get I was hoping the weather would get a little bit warmer, but last time we were here it was nice, real nice. We ended up riding our bikes about 20 or 30 miles. You took a 20-mile bike ride with Mindy.
Yeah, I didn't know I was going to ride 20 miles on a bicycle with my daughter that day. She just kept turning around and saying, "Mom, can you handle a little bit more?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I can handle more."
But we took the dogs swimming last time, and it was a lot of fun. It was just this time it's like freezing. In fact, our cat went out one time and then started out another time and turned around and came back in, and now he's been in all day.
I think the only person or only living being in this RV that likes being outside right now is Maggie.
Yeah, Maggie
loves it.
Maggie, the cold weather is good for Maggie. She loves to run and play, but
She's chasing walnuts outside now.
Gracie doesn't like it, and neither does Moses. Doesn't like the cold. But yeah, we're gonna keep up.
Thank you, Beach Bum.
We're gonna keep up with Barry and find out. I hope just like he went to Indiana. I'm hoping that they tagged his vehicle, with a locator or either, it's going to be hard if the police are watching him. It's going to be very, very hard for him to watch him all the way to Indiana and back like that. I mean, it can be done, but that you're talking about a lot of money to watch him like that.
Hard to watch a killer walk.
I mean, it
That's
is.
what Maui said. Hey, Maui.
Me and my partner followed a murder suspect when I was working in Huntsville. Followed him from Huntsville all the way to Kentucky one time, keeping up with him. But so, I mean, they can do that, and they may do that, but I don't know. I would think they'd put something on his vehicle, but he might find it.
My restless leg is hit early tonight. I have restless leg syndrome, y'all.
Yeah, she has it bad. Keeps him from sleeping and everything. Well, we can only hope that and pray that, one thing I'm very concerned about the young 21-year-old we talked about, the young black girl from Mississippi College. I'm very concerned that she has been groomed by somebody online and talked into coming to New York as a modeling career, acting career, or something, and gotten seduced by some type of male that portrays himself as one person and yet is not, and she's fell into some evil type spell. The things that really worries me is that her mother claims she's very close to her, talked to her almost every day, and she hasn't. Her phone will not be answered. Her phone goes straight to voicemail. So
Where is it pinging?
It pinged out of Virginia the last time in Virginia, and they did catch a videotape of her. So, but she was en route going to New York. So, I'm sure if she has been taken or whatever up there that excuse me, she will her phone will disappear. They'll drop it off a bridge somewhere or go into salt water, and after that happens, it fries it.
Okay, it says if it's traded in, how do they put a new one on another vehicle?
Well, let's just say that they want to do that. There's two type of trackers, and the one they do now is it's a GPS tracker where they can sit in their office anywhere and watch you go down the road. I mean, it's real time. That'd be one way, and then they have what they call a data tracker that they put on your car that they only can download the data, but that's not. If they don't want to follow him, put a tail on him and follow him, then they would be probably going to they may not want to take the chance on that he might find something on the vehicle. I'm sure that he will look under his vehicle and see. He might take it to somebody that jacks it up and look under his vehicle.
There's a lot of trackers being used on people now where they're putting a little tracker on their car and following them home and stuff. That's scary.
I mean, they're so inexpensive now that the really high-tech trackers, I'm not going to go into where I've seen them put, but if they were to put a high-tech tracker on him and put it in locations that I've seen, he probably would never find it. But you never know. You never know if they're going to track him, or they may not. they may say, okay, well, he's supposed to go to Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm just saying that. Well, then they may check. They may tell troopers in the area that be on the lookout for this vehicle. If you see it and can ID the subject, let us know. Call us and let us know. All the interstates, north and east and west, every interstate, east and west, and north and south, are worked by interdiction teams, county and state and federal interdiction teams that do this to catch drug traffickers and money. Drugs go east, money goes west.
Yep.
And
I want to stop the west ones.
I've got friends that work nothing but interdiction, and they catch people all the time with, like, I had one friend of mine, he caught a tractor trailer and it had $300 and something thousand in cash, and they found a kilo of cocaine hidden in the very back behind the cash. And what they figure is it was missed. It was supposed to be taken out when the money was putting in, but it was kind of down around. It got kind of stuck in a corner, and they didn't get it, or they seized. I remember the Alabama state troopers stopped a pickup truck in Daphne, Alabama, and they found $1 million in a false bed underneath the bed of the truck. So I mean,
hey, how about that one we saw where they cut the seat, the passenger seat out and the driver's seat out,
yeah,
and they stuck somebody in there and sewed it back up. Remember?
yeah,
That was crazy.
There's all kinds of compartments that they'll build, and also,
can I tell them the grossest one that I've ever heard? And I just can't even imagine this. But a woman, they stopped her when she landed in the United States because there was something suspicious. She had a baby she was carrying, and there was something suspicious. It was a long flight, and they stopped her. The police were called, and they stopped her because something just didn't seem right. And they found a baby. I don't know how old, but anyway, the baby had been killed, cut open, and cocaine put in its gut.
Yeah, that right now what they'll do is they'll put false batteries in a car, and the real battery would be somewhere else in the car that powers it. But in the false battery, they'll put cocaine in the battery. I've seen them put cocaine in a gas tank, and that's why I saw a car one time. They were filling the truck up with gas underneath an overpass, and that's what they said it was. It was somebody had their whole gas tank probably was full of drugs. But we call it in to the interdiction guys out there on the highway. Maybe that's one way they can keep up, because all of these interstates have got interdiction teams out there, and they may give them a heads up and say, hey, it's a term that they use when they give each other heads up. I'm not getting all into that, but they'll let each other know, hey, this is going on. And we would, in our teams up there, and even when I was working drugs, that an informant would call me and say, hey, I just saw so and so, and he had 2 pounds of marijuana in his truck. Well, and he's driving this way. Well, I can't just to stop that truck. I would have to get behind him and observe some type of infraction, and you
running off
you get a police car behind somebody that's carrying drugs, they're going to be nervous as can be.
Even
they are going to make mistakes, and you pull them over, and then of course put a dog in the car, and a dog will smell it out.
Hey y'all, the other day I was driving down the road on Highway 64, and I was doing 65 miles an hour, and I missed the sign that said the speed limit went from 65 to 55 to 45. And about the time I hit this hill coming down, there was a state trooper there, and I looked down. I was doing 65 in a 45. And I told Tommy, I said, well, he got me, Tennessee state trooper. And I just pulled off the side of the road. He turned around, came back, and waved as he went by. I guess he was hoping for a chase, and I didn't give him a chase.
Yeah. But you know, they could do it that way, or they may just say, you know what, we'll let the guys know in Indiana where he's going, what's going on. They can kind of keep an eye on him up there, and we'll watch him once he starts coming back into the county here. I don't know. I don't know what their plans are. It's a different ball game now. You know, if they don't believe that he'll run, or they don't believe that he's going to do something with any evidence, like if it's not where they think she may be located, then they may just let him go, you know. And, you know, I personally don't think he's going to run unless they start looking at a location for the body where she's at, then he may run. But, you know, we don't know. I'm kind of afraid they're not going to find a body. That maybe he made sure of that, you know, either burning the body or using some chemicals to dissolve it, you know.
There ain't no telling. God knows.
Yeah. For sure. But, you know, I've watched just a few other people talking about dropping their charges and all this, and I haven't seen you know, haven't seen much controversy on it. Beach Bum, you said, do informants get money for tipping? Yes. I paid many times. It's weird because in the bigger cities, you can pay them lots of money to get, and I'm talking about $500 for a search warrant of a house where there's drugs inside, or as much as 2,500 for a large amount of marijuana, say 1,000 pounds. But I know of one informant that works for lots and lots of money doing the.
So they're talking about the DA. They said, do you think the DA isn't telling the truth?
I don't know about what.
About Barry?
My biggest problem with the DA's office and all this is why didn't they follow the the criminal procedure laws of discovery? It's very easy to do, and they're not going to be able to look. If he goes up there and they start presenting evidence at the trial that the defense doesn't know about, they're going to go up and get a sidebar and say, Your Honor, I had never heard of this in discovery. They didn't present this in discovery. So, you know, this is not, they're not presenting this in discovery. So,
but the defense doesn't have to turn over anything.
Yeah, defense turns over everything they have, and the prosecution turns over everything they have. It's called discovery. You get to see their evidence, they get to see your evidence.
I wouldn't turn it all over.
Well, that's what they didn't do.
That's what
they didn't turn it all over, and they got messed up because the judge said you got to abide by discovery, and if you don't do it, then you can't use your witnesses. That's the thing. You know, you got to. You got to start off the level playing field. If you have somebody like say you got they turn over a witness that a discovery that says we have a guy that's going to testify to where he buried the body and how he disposed of the body. This is our witness, and then he's one of these names, and you put out a lot of times defense and the prosecution will give all the names of their witnesses. They'll give like 100 different names, knowing they're only going to call like 15 of them, but they'll supply them, so they really don't know which one is true and what you don't have to tell them everything they're going to testify on.
Right.
But you have to provide them with, like, your experts are going to testify to this.
But
you
could
know.
could you go down through Facebook and just pick out people's names and write them down and say, "That's my witness. That's my witness. That's my
No,
witness."
because then you're getting people in trouble. What they'll do is they may name 25 or 30 FBI agents, knowing only 3 of them are going to testify.
Maui said
Yeah.
dismissal without prejudice because they know the location of Suzanne's body. I hope so.
That's what they're saying, that they believe they know her location, but they can't get to it because of snow. And what they have got to have some information from somebody. They've got to have
Lori
that.
Ann said, "How or why did the prosecution act so reckless and negligent?"
That's I don't know. That was, I don't know why that they acted like that. I
So
really
are they
don't.
starting from scratch? Jane said.
No, what they can do is say they hold out till they find the body and they find her. Then they can go back and look at all of the evidence and try to put certain things with it and then better prepare it. But when they go back and refile these charges, they've got to provide discovery.
Okay, Beach Bum said the pool chemical could have been used. Tyson showed it in the store.
I don't think pool chemical is what the if you watch Breaking Bad, you can see what they did. They use an acid inside plastic barrels because it won't eat through the plastic. Beach Bum said one of the big cartel's sons was a friend of mine, ex's friend, who tried to hire him because he was dark bear and long. Oh,
because he was dark. He was a dark bear and long hair. I put my foot down and I said, "Only if I get 1 million up front for our kid." Doc said, "Double jeopardy." Jeopardy.
Yeah, well, double jeopardy is they can't if he the reason why they said it's without prejudice, that means that they can try him again. If they ever seated the jury, if they had gone to the point of seating the jury, then they couldn't drop the charges without it double jeopardy applying. That's it. But if they don't seat the jury, double jeopardy does not apply. Or if they had tried him and if they had just seated the jury and then they 10 minutes later they'd said, you know what, we're going to drop these, then he would never be able to try him again.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just can't. My legs are killing me. I can't get still.
Doc, it's good to see you on here, buddy.
I don't know if it's Julie or Doc. I'm hoping it's both of them.
I'm hoping it's Doc. I hope it's Doc. But I hope that the next time whoever's in charge of this investigation, that they
lost their key expert, Maui said.
Yeah, they did, but experts right. But next time when they refile it, they can get all these back. They can get them in if they just abide by the rules and give them all the evidence in discovery. If they would abide by discovery, what it sounds like to me that they were scared to tell them who their witnesses was because they would for whatever reason. I don't know why.
Would they refile if they don't have a body?
They can refile without a body, but with the DA.
It's Julie and Ed.
Great.
Glad to see y'all on here. I was thinking about you today.
We've been praying for y'all, and I'm just super happy to see you on here, Doc. I really am. And Julie. What they can do is with the DA saying we want to be fair and not present this case without a body, that kind of puts them in a catch-22 type situation. I would not, I mean, if I've been a DA, I wouldn't have said that. I would just say we are going to reevaluate how we present this case, and we are going to make sure that we comply with all of the Rule 6 discovery, and that make sure we have everything out there. I think by them, I'm hoping that they find the body.
Maui said they were they were bombarded the state with motions.
Yeah, sure, but it's the idea of it. The state has an obligation to present the discovery to the defense. I mean, that is just basic criminal procedure. That's basic. Every prosecution charging anybody has got to furnish discovery to the defense. It's got to. And when you don't do it, you violation of your if you don't present the discovery, read that there. If you don't present the discovery as required by law, then you can't use that evidence in court. You can't. And I think that by them, it's almost like we're scared to give you what we got. We're scared to let you know what we have. And I don't understand it. But that's just the law. That is just basic criminal procedure. I mean, I have worked many a case where I had to submit all the discovery to the prosecution, and he in turns, or she in turns, presents it to the defense, and they get copies. Like when we were doing these child predator cases, the defense got copies of the actual transcript as well as the prosecution. They got copies of all the pictures. They got copies of all this. That's just the way it is. You can't expect a guy that's the defense attorney that's going to try to make sure you get a fair trial go blind into this case. That's the system is that they're going to supply you with they don't have to tell you. Prosecution doesn't have to sit down with them and tell them, look, we're going to present this witness. He's going to testify to this. But they have to present the name of the witness and what he does, what's his qualifications.
They should have tied up those loose ends before arresting.
I agree.
What Maui said.
I agree.
Hey, if y'all haven't gone and watched our latest video, we got shot at a car wash.
We didn't get shot at.
I thought we were getting shot at.
Yeah,
it was funny.
It was.
We didn't get shot at, but it sounded like gunshots, and I drove out of the car wash really fast.
We were in the. This is on our other channel, the 1 Million Mile Road Trip. We actually were. We forgot that we had left our lights. We have these portable lights, magnetic lights. We put on our Jeep Liberty. If we have the bikes on the back, it lets people see our brake lights and
no, it wasn't backfire
turn signal and everything. No, what happened was we left. We were neglected to take down the lights before we went through a car wash, and it had run through the car wash before the lights on and never had bothered them. But with this time, picked up one of the lights that it weighs once you pick it up about 5 or 6, 7 pounds, got caught in that little thing of that little brush, and it just slung it around and hit the back window of our car, and it was like a gun. It was like a bullet went off. Glass went all the way through the car, got all over the back of my hair and Dina's hair and down our back of her shirt. And I mean, it was like we show the video. We can't let you hear it because we had music going, and they'll copyright strike me, but you can see my reaction and Dina's reaction when it went off.
I really
It
did
was,
think somebody was shooting at us at
yeah,
first. It was a big.
It sounded like a 25 or 38 bullet hit the back of the car. It was unbelievable. At first thing, it hit the side of the car first, and Dina said, "What's that?" And I said, "What?" And it went bam, blew the window out, and it was. You'll see our
little
faces.
pieces of glass everywhere.
You'll see our faces. It was, and we were in a very, very small town up there near where her father lives. So we went to the police department, and I told them what happened, and said there's glass all over there. We tried to sweep it up, and the owner actually called me, and we saw the owner the next day. Actually, after we spent $400 getting a new window put in, and we
expensive car wash.
So yeah, you need to go watch that video for sure.
Yeah, that was a very expensive car wash and an expensive lesson.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
we learned.
Don't do stupid stuff by leaving stuff on top of your car going through car wash. Yeah, but
it's what happens when you don't pay attention.
Yeah, for sure.
My legs are absolutely just will not stop moving. It's one of those things. The doctor gave me medicine for it, and for a while one pill worked, and then it stopped working, and so I started taking 2 pills, and they told me I can't take more than 2 pills. And if you've ever had restless leg, you understand it's so infuriating that you just can't stop your legs. I don't know what in the heck. Somebody said take
time together.
Yeah, time together. Take CQ10. So I'm going to try that.
I take that all the time.
I'm going to try it. I listen. I'm willing to sleep with a bar of soap under the sheet if that's how it takes. I heard somebody say that was an old wives' tale.
Sleep with a bar of soap under the sheet.
I think it has to be either Zest or Dial. I can't remember now.
That is
we'll just get one.
Hey,
we'll just get one of each kind of soap and put it under there. That's funny. If y'all know any old wives' tales or anything for a restless leg, send me a email. Tell me what to do, because I'm willing to do it. These legs are just driving me crazy. I've not had it like this early at night. Usually it's when I get in bed. Must be time to go to bed. My body must think so.
Yeah, sure.
Thanks, Beach Bum. I hope I get relief. It is awful.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we're going to let you go. We are going to keep up with the Mary Morphew case and a lot of these other cases. And it's just, I just get so aggravated at these people snatching these kids and that little girl getting killed, murdered, and possibly by her own cousin. That is just very, very sad.
Y'all, if you hear of anyone that comes up missing, send us a text or send us an email
that you would like us to cover.
Yeah.
Also, our other channel, the 1 Million Mile Road Trip, we are going to be leaving Milwaukee area probably in about 3 weeks. We are planning to do is mirror the Oregon Trail and cover all of the historic places across there. We are going to be crossing through Nebraska, Kansas, Wyoming, Idaho, and Oregon, and we plan on going all the way to the Oregon coast if everything works out the way we want to. And we probably are not going to come south to go back east. We're probably going to hug the north a little bit because it's just so daggum hot. We talked to a guy today in Phoenix where our satellite dish is messing up, and he said it was 110 down there today. So we definitely don't want to be south where all that hot weather is.
We just got to find cheap diesel. Oh, by the way, I'll post a link on here. If you guys sign up for this,
if you use diesel,
or you know somebody who does,
any car or truck or RV or boat or anything, there's an app that we found that will save you a lot of money. It saves more money than the app we've been using. We've been using an app that can save you like 50, 60 cents a gallon on stuff, but this one even does better than that.
And they are going to get gas eventually.
Yeah, they're working on getting
They're working on
gas.
getting it to be gas. Also, I hope
The way they save you money is the fact that the whole system buys in bulk. And I'm not sure what they charge you. Do you know what they charge you?
the app is free.
No, but I mean, what you charge you for the gallon to get the fuel, like through them, like our other one,
Well, they would have saved us 20 cents a gallon yesterday.
more.
20
than it
cents a
did.
gallon more. Yeah. It's not showing up for some reason. I don't know.
But we'll post it a copy of the how you can get it, as far as if you go to this website and download it. If just by downloading the app, we get a little bonus for us is being to somebody that suggested it. The app's free also.
Yeah, the app's free, and I can't
Yeah,
get it to
gas.
post. All right, let me see if I can do it this way. All right, wait a minute. Let me see if I do it this way. Okay. // Talk to him.
I was looking for somebody to ask a question, but I don't see anybody. And pick that suitcase.
Oh yeah, the picture of the suitcase too.
Okay, hold on a second. Yeah, I need to do that in community. I'll do that.
We want y'all to
I'll
share
look.
that. That little boy deserves to be found. I mean, who he is.
Yeah.
Not found. He's been found, but who he is.
I mean, one thing is, how can a mama or daddy, and it makes me wonder, could it be one of the West boys?
Well, that's what somebody said in there to see if they.
It could very easily be one of the West boys that's in there. They'll do DNA, but unfortunately, the DNA thing is they got to have something to compare it to, because his DNA is not going to be in the system, and they may have to backtrack it through the genealogy thing. Did you post that?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Click on the link and register. If you've got diesel or know somebody who has diesel.
I will see. I think I might have deleted some of the others I had in there. Let me copy this again. This picture, I'll put it in the community tab, and
yeah, we need to share that picture everywhere.
Yeah, and I'm, of course, the Michael Vaughn case is really close to my heart, because we were looking. Everybody thought this kid was lost, and it turns out he was taken. But how they can just snatch him like that, and without even thinking about it, it gets me. I'm gonna go back tonight, read about that girl being murdered and the cousin that thinks he did it, and
well, it'll be all over the news here.
Yeah. I'm not sure how far that is from us, even that falls, whatever.
It's
falls
3.5 hours.
Okay.
So it's up in the northern part.
And that's pretty rural up there too. That's small town USA up there. But yeah, and Doc and Julie, we plan on being close to y'all out there in Idaho this on our trip, and hopefully on the way back we can try to drop into where you're at. We're going to be very close to you. In fact, we're crossing where the Oregon Trail is. Did you put that on there? Where'd you put it?
What?
That thing.
Right there.
Okay. I don't see it, but that's fine. Oh, check the link. Okay. If they click the link somehow.
I think so.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will we'll catch you next time, and please send us an email and let us know if you have anything we want us to cover. And you may see us later on the week. We don't know. We don't, depends on this weather, you know, of what's going on. But um, I'll post that.
Hey, I put that picture on Instagram, the one of the suitcase. So y'all share it everywhere you can. Doc said, God bless y'all. Stay safe. Prayers for you, Thomas, Medina, Rachel, and Michaela. Rachel, Michaela is calling. Summer plans to Seattle, then entire summer. I'm glad to be with you, my family. Miss y'all. God bless you all.
God bless you too, Doc and Julie. Be praying for Doc and Julie too. And God bless all of y'all. We love you and hope to see you next time. Good
Bye,
night.
y'all.